Have you ever met someone, and for a brief moment it felt like time stood still? The noise of the world faded, the chaos calmed, and all that remained was this quiet, powerful pull, like a magnetic force between two souls. It wasn't just chemistry, it wasn't luck. It felt larger, almost cosmic. Carl Jung had a name for this kind of experience: synchronicity, a moment when your inner world aligns perfectly with the outer world. A moment that whispers, "This is not random. Pay attention." Because sometimes the people we meet aren't just strangers. They're reflections, messengers, even guides, sent not by accident but by a greater design. And when the universe truly wants you to cross paths with someone, it doesn't shout. It speaks in dreams, repeating signs, and a quiet knowing deep within. This video isn't just about love or attraction. It's about soul-level connections. The ones that wake you up, shake your reality, and shift your path forever. So if you've ever felt like someone mattered more than they should have, more quickly or deeply than expected, stay with me, because this is the message your soul has been waiting for. Chapter 1. The universe whispers, not shouts. Have you ever noticed that when something truly meaningful is about to happen in your life, the world doesn't scream it out loud? It whispers. The most powerful shifts don't arrive like thunder. They come softly, like gentle rain tapping on your window while everything else is quiet. That's how the universe brings someone into your life who's meant to stir your soul. Not through noise, but through stillness. The first sign is never dramatic. It's not fireworks. It's not music swelling in the background. It's not even butterflies in your stomach. It's something quieter, something deeper. It's a pause, a moment of calm where everything else fades. Your thoughts slow down, your doubts fall silent, and in that space, something inside you just knows. You meet them, and it's not about what they say or how they look. It's the energy. It feels oddly familiar, like you've met them before, even though you haven't. Like your soul has been waiting for this exact moment. That's not fantasy. That's alignment. Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology, once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." He believed that when your inner world is in alignment, your fears understood, your wounds acknowledged, your truth accepted, the outer world responds. It mirrors you. It meets you where you are, and when that happens, the universe doesn't need to push or pull. Your soul is ready, and the right person appears, not to complete you but to reflect you. And this is what most people overlook. A real connection, one that's divinely timed, doesn't just offer love or attraction. It brings truth. This person becomes a mirror, not one that flatters, but one that reveals your shadows, your depth, your light, and your potential. You don't just see them, you see yourself through them. Maybe for the first time ever, this isn't infatuation, this is transformation, and it all begins with a whisper. Chapter 2. The synchronicities are too exact to dismiss. You think about them, and just like that, they text you, not hours later. Not the next day, but in that moment, as if the universe somehow heard your thoughts. You pick up your phone and there's a missed call from them. Or maybe you're having a hard day, lost in your thoughts, and suddenly a song plays that feels like it was written just for you about them. You pause, goosebumps. It's as if someone or something is trying to send you a message. And it doesn't stop there. You walk into a crowded place, a train station, a bookstore, an airport you've never been to before, and there they are. You lock eyes and somehow it doesn't feel like a coincidence. It feels planned, as if life was quietly waiting for this very moment. You begin to see a pattern. Their initials appear in random places. You overhear strangers mention their name. You're not searching for signs, but the signs seem to be searching for you. These aren't just random glitches in reality. They're synchronicities, one of Carl Jung's most powerful concepts. He described synchronicity as a meaningful coincidence between two or more events, where something more than random chance is at play. These events aren't linked by cause, but the meaning they carry is impossible to ignore. It's as if the universe gently taps your shoulder, softly saying, "Look closer. This matters." And here's what many people miss. These signs don't happen to everyone. They happen to those becoming more aware, to people aligning with their inner truth, to those waking up to something bigger than logic alone. Because when your inner world, your values, your desires, your soul is in harmony, the outer world responds. That response often appears as a person, a soul, a mirror, a presence, who keeps showing up, not to confuse you, but to awaken something within you. This isn't superstition, it's a deeper form of intelligence, one that speaks through symbols and timing and patterns. When you're off your path, life blocks the way, but when you're aligned, it clears the road. And sometimes it sends someone who defies explanation, someone who sees you without saying a word, someone who feels strangely familiar, even though you just met, someone who activates something buried, something sacred and ancient. You can't explain it, but you can't stop thinking about them. You feel drawn in, connected, even challenged in ways that don't make sense. You might try to ignore it, doubt it, even deny it, but the universe keeps whispering through moments, through signs, through a quiet inner knowing. This isn't just anyone. This feels destined. Chapter 3. You don't just see them, you start seeing yourself. Falling for someone can feel magical. But what if it's not really about them? Not their smile, not their energy, not even the way they make you feel. What if it's about what they awaken in you, deep below the surface, where memories are stored, where old wounds rest, where hidden parts of you are still waiting to be acknowledged? Sometimes we don't fall for a person. We fall for the version of ourselves that comes alive when they enter the room. Carl Jung called this projection one of psychology's most misunderstood yet powerful ideas. Every person holds two selves, the one we show the world and the one we keep hidden, even from ourselves, the shadow and the light, the pain and the brilliance. And when someone enters our life, we unconsciously project all of it onto them, the beautiful, the broken, the divine. That's why you feel pulled to certain people, not because they're flawless, but because they carry something your soul has been quietly searching for, something you lost, something you suppressed, something you were too afraid to face alone. Maybe you admire their freedom, because deep down you felt stuck. Maybe you envy their calm, because your inner world feels chaotic. Maybe you fear their distance, because it echoes someone who once left you behind. They don't just reflect your desires, they mirror your wounds, and in that reflection you see more than just their face. You see your own story, you see old patterns, you see unspoken fears. You see the love you've never fully given yourself. This is where things get uncomfortable, because true connection doesn't flatter your ego. It challenges it. It pushes against your comfort zone. It shows you where you still hurt, where healing is needed. That's why soul connections are rarely simple. They're intense, they're messy, they're raw, but they're real, because they bring you face to face with yourself. Not the version everyone admires, not the version curated for social media, but the version that cries in silence, the version still grieving the past, the version waiting to be seen. Sometimes you meet someone who feels like home, but they aren't your home. They're the mirror reminding you to return home, to yourself. And here's the surprising part. You might not end up with that person, but you will end up changed. Because they opened something within you. They reminded you of the person you're meant to become. And that reflection, it stays with you. So if someone ever made you feel more alive, more vulnerable, more seen than anyone ever has, don't just ask, why? Did they enter my life? Ask instead, what did they awaken in me? Because maybe, just maybe, they weren't meant to stay. They came to introduce you to yourself. Chapter 4. The pain is proof of depth. Here's a truth most people never talk about. When the universe brings someone truly aligned with your soul, it won't always feel like a perfect love story. It won't always come with peace, comfort, or butterflies. Sometimes it feels like fire. Sometimes it feels like everything inside you is falling apart. Not because they're wrong for you, but because your soul is finally waking up. When someone connects with your soul on a deep level, they don't just bring happiness. They bring clarity, and clarity can be painful, because now you finally see all the things you've been avoiding. The walls around your heart begin to crack. Old wounds buried so deep you forgot about them rise to the surface. The defense mechanisms you once called strength begin to collapse. Why? Because real love doesn't follow the ego's rules. It's not here just to keep you safe and comfortable. It's here to make you whole, and to become whole, you have to face the parts of you that are still broken. You start asking questions you never dared to ask. Why am I afraid of being left behind? Why do I push away people who care? Why does being vulnerable feel so dangerous? And that's when you realize you're not just falling for them. You're falling into the parts of yourself that still need healing. Carl Jung said it best. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. In other words, you don't heal by pretending everything's fine. You heal by facing what isn't. Sometimes the person who excites your heart is the same one who shows you the pain you've been avoiding. They don't hurt you on purpose, but their presence reveals what still needs healing. Maybe their emotional distance reawakens your childhood fears of being left out. Maybe their confidence brings out your hidden insecurities. Maybe their silence reminds you of old moments where you felt ignored or unseen. But that doesn't make them the enemy. It makes them your mirror, your teacher. Because true relationships aren't just about love. They're about growth. Love isn't just here to feel good. It's here to make you better. Every trigger they activate is an opportunity to heal, to reflect, to grow. That's why pain isn't the end of your story. Pain is the beginning, the start of deep inner work, the doorway to transformation. You start journaling again. You ask yourself deeper questions. You recognize your own patterns, and for the first time, you learn how to love yourself. Not because someone told you to, but because your soul now requires it. You stop running from your past. You stop blaming others. You take responsibility, and in that process you grow in ways you never thought possible. This pain, it's sacred. It proves the connection was real. Because shallow connections don't shake you like this, only soul-level bonds do. And as you heal, you begin to feel a quiet kind of gratitude, not because it was easy, but because it was real. Because it changed you. This kind of love becomes your spiritual teacher, and the relationship, whether it lasts or not, becomes your greatest classroom. Not every love is meant to stay. Some are meant to break you open, so you never go through life numb again. So next time you feel pain after meeting someone profound, don't curse it, don't run from it, don't numb it, honor it. Because that pain isn't proof that something went wrong. It's proof that something went deep. And depth, that's where true healing begins. Something deep is happening within you. Your shadow is rising, but this isn't a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. That person didn't create the storm in you, they revealed it. Their presence was strong enough to bring your hidden truth to the surface. That's what love on a soul level does. It doesn't just admire your strengths, it exposes your wounds. It shows you what you've been hiding from the world, and even from yourself. But here's the shift. Not every emotional storm signals that something's wrong. Some storms come to clear the space, to shake off what no longer belongs, to wash away the emotional weight you were never meant to carry. And some people, they don't enter your life to make you whole. They come to uncover you, to break down your defenses, to open your heart and to quietly say, "This is the real you. This is where it hurts. This is where healing must begin." True, destined love isn't about comfort. It's about growth through truth. Not through harm, but through sacred transformation. It says, "Here are your patterns. Do you want to repeat them or rise above? Here is your fear of being left. Will you keep running or finally trust? Here is your need to control. Will you keep clinging or surrender to something deeper?" In those choices, real growth begins. The shadow that once felt like your enemy becomes your teacher. The pain you feared becomes your mirror. You start to love the parts of yourself you once rejected. You begin to make room for your fears. You stop saying sorry for being too much and start healing the reason you ever believed that. This is what destined love is meant to do. Not to give you the perfect partner, but to return you to your wholeness. So, next time someone enters your life and shakes your world, don't run. Stay with the discomfort. Listen to what the shadow is saying. This love wasn't meant to finish your story. It came to help you rewrite the first chapter of your true self. Chapter 6. Not all destined encounters are forever. At a certain point in your spiritual journey, you learn a tough truth. Not everyone is meant to stay. Some people come into your life like wild storms, loud, unforgettable, and intense. Others arrive like soft breezes, calming, healing, gentle. But no matter how they come, they share one purpose. They're not here to complete you, but to change you. We're raised to chase the idea of forever. Movies, songs, stories, they all celebrate the fantasy of a happily ever after. But what if the most powerful souls you meet were never meant to stay? What if their purpose wasn't to stay forever, but to wake you up? They come to stir something ancient within you, to touch parts of your soul no one else can. They make you feel emotions you've kept locked away. They challenge your thinking, reveal your blind spots, and reflect your truth, even the parts you don't want to see. And then they leave. Or life pulls you apart, or you're forced to let go, your first instinct. You feel shattered, you question everything. You wonder, was it real? If it mattered, why didn't it last? But real doesn't always mean forever. Carl Jung said it beautifully. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. That's what a destined meeting does. It transforms you. It may not fit your timeline, it may not match your plans, but it leaves a lasting mark on your soul. These people don't arrive to fulfill your dreams. They come to burn away your illusions. They shake you awake. They pull you out of the life you've been sleepwalking through. They bring the kind of growth comfort never could. Maybe they taught you what love really feels like. Maybe they revealed the wounds you still need to heal. Maybe they gave you the courage to imagine a life you never thought possible. And maybe, just maybe their greatest gift was the pain they left behind, because that pain became your greatest teacher. Pain, you see, isn't always a punishment. Sometimes it's sacred guidance. These soul encounters remind us, true love isn't always about possession or permanence. It's about transformation. You won't always marry the one who woke your soul. Sometimes you meet them to rediscover who you are, to realign your spirit and prepare for the next version of your life. A version you never could have reached without the shift they started in you. And yes, it hurts. But it also frees you, because letting go doesn't mean you failed. It means the soul contract was completed. That's the difference between attachment and awareness. Attachment cries, "Why can't we go back?" Awareness whispers, "You've grown past that chapter. It's time to move forward." So no, not all destined encounters are meant to last forever. But none are wasted. They're written into your soul, etched into your evolution, and carved into your memory, not as regrets, but as sacred reminders of how far you've come. And one day when you look back, you'll understand exactly why they had to arrive, and Why they had to leave, with pain, yet with peace, not with longing, but with gratitude, because you'll come to understand. They weren't meant to stay. They arrived to begin something, to awaken a deeper version of you, and in that awakening, you discovered the most powerful kind of love. The love you give to yourself when no one else is there. A love that doesn't chase, beg, or hold on, but trusts, releases, and grows. That is the real purpose behind destined love. Chapter 7. The universe sends people. When you're ready, not when you're desperate. There's a spiritual law that doesn't follow your schedule. It doesn't respond to loneliness. It won't answer late-night prayers just because you're hurting. It waits until you're truly ready, not when you're desperate, not when you're clinging to someone to fill an inner emptiness. Because the universe doesn't send your mirror while you're still lost in illusion. It sends your lesson. And here's the honest but freeing truth. If you're still drowning in self-doubt, still chasing approval, still seeking love to avoid facing yourself, you won't attract a soulmate. You'll attract a reflection of your inner chaos, not a divine connection, but a lesson disguised as love. Life responds to your energy, not your words. Desperation brings confusion. Lack attracts more lack. Fear draws in repeating cycles until you finally say, "Enough. I want to heal." That's why certain people break your heart, not because the universe is cruel, but because your soul made a quiet request. Teach me what I haven't learned yet. So when you're still acting from pain, fear, or avoidance, the people who appear reflect that. They'll be inconsistent because you haven't found your own stability. They'll be emotionally distant because you're still emotionally hurting. They'll confuse you because your inner world is still unclear. But then something changes. One day, after all the heartbreaks, the sleepless nights, and the moments you betrayed yourself, you stop chasing love. You stop begging to be noticed. You stop performing just to feel connected. Instead, you turn inward. You sit. With silence, you face your wounds, and you begin the steady, sacred work of becoming whole on your own. You stop asking, "When will I meet the one?" and start asking, "What parts of me have I been avoiding?" You no longer fear being alone. You begin to love the peace it brings. That's when the universe responds, not with drama, not with excitement, but with alignment. It's not loud. It's not chaotic. It's not a quick emotional high wrapped in warning signs. It's gentle, steady, clear, like the soft vibration of a piano string finally in tune, like two souls humming the same quiet song after lifetimes apart. You won't feel the need to chase it. You won't overthink it. You won't doubt your worth in their presence, because they won't arrive to complete you. They'll come to walk beside the version of you who already knows, "I am whole, I am ready. I'm no longer afraid of my own reflection." That's what real love feels like, not addiction, not obsession, not chaos, but resonance. And from that moment on, your life begins to shift. Not because someone saved you, but because you saved yourself. The universe simply responded to your healing, because that's how it works. You don't get what you want. You get what you're aligned with. So heal.grow, let go of the noise, and become the version of yourself that doesn't beg for love, but attracts it naturally, just by being real. Conclusion. Not every encounter is a coincidence. The next time you meet someone and something inside you feels different, your breath catches. The world slows down for just a second. Something unexplainable moves through your chest. Pause. Don't rush to define it. Don't force it into a label. Just feel it. Because not every spark is romantic. Not every connection is meant to last forever. But every soul you meet has a purpose. Some come to show you your strength. Some awaken the parts of you that feel fragile. Some remind you of your worth. And some teach you how to walk away from what no longer helps you grow. So ask yourself, not just, "Who is this person to me?" But also, what are they revealing about me? Is it joy? Is it fear? Is it peace? Or is it an old wound asking to be healed? People don't appear randomly. They're messengers from the universe, from your higher self, from the version of you that already knows what you truly need. The universe doesn't send who you want when you're lonely. It sends who your soul needs when you're ready. Some come to shake you, some come to help you heal, some come to remove the illusions built around your heart, but all of them, yes, all, come to bring you closer to your truth. So the next time someone enters your life and stirs your soul, don't just react. Pause, observe, listen, because the universe speaks through energy, and it's not shouting, it's whispering, and those whispers only make sense to the version of you that's ready to listen. So tell me, something real. Has the universe ever sent someone into your life when you least expected it? Someone who didn't stay but left a lasting mark? Maybe they arrived during a hard time, maybe they left before you were ready, but something about them, their presence, their timing, their truth, still lives in you. If someone came to mind, share your story in the comments, big or small. I read everyone, because this channel isn't just about messages, it's about connection, your connection, our shared experience. And if this message moved something in you, if it made you pause, remember or feel seen, don't let it end here. Like this video, subscribe, share it with someone who believes in more than just chance. Someone who knows when the universe speaks, it doesn't shout, it whispers through timing, through feelings, through people. And today, maybe it whispered through you.